and
I think
it's just a thing.
it's just
It
a
is a
thing.
thing.
It is
It
a
is.
thing.
It's a big
Are we
thing.
recording?
Oh my god.
Actual
Oh my
recording is
god!
higher
Actual
quality.
recording.
Ah.
Good, because it doesn't look great right now. Welcome to Chaos, Mischief, and Muscles, the show where we talk about whatever
Whatever
the
we
fuck we
want.
want. And today, shit, did we decide? Redefining success.
Redefining success.
Uh-oh, I failed.
Well, you learned a lesson though.
I learned a lesson.
Take
No
notes.
failures. Only successes and lessons.
Mike
Uh,
Pritigen, he is our coachy coach. I just totally just bit my tongue as I said Mike's name too.
I thought you were. I thought
That
this was
did
gonna be a
sound a
real
little
good one.
mispronounced, but
It did,
you know.
but I thought you were cringing because you said coachy coach.
I bit my tongue as I said his name.
Okay,
Oh
before we
God.
get into that,
Yes.
last week we finally published our first episode.
Yay.
I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you thought when you listened to it for the first time. Because there's a
Thoughts about you guys
difference.
or myself?
Yes.
You mean
I did
the people listening and watching, or us as in like
us.
No, when Muscles, when you sat
okay.
down and listened to the podcast, what did you think?
It was really awkward to listen to myself talk. I'm not gonna lie. But I also listened to it on Spotify, but I also watched it on YouTube just so that I could get
Yeah.
used to seeing myself on camera. And I kept picking out all like the little nitpicky things.
Yeah.
So there are things that I'm gonna work on, like saying and like a lot. Just because they're filler words and probably should stay away from those. But I loved what you guys had to say, and even though we were sitting there talking and having this conversation all together, I still had stuff that I could pull out and I took notes on it. And there were things that I learned afterwards, which was really kind of cool. So I think it's like every time I post it, I'm going to go listen to it just to make sure that did I miss something during our conversation? Because sometimes you don't think about what you're saying. You just say it and you have the conversation and then you think on it later and you're like, what exactly were we talking about? Or how is this said? I mean, I completely forgot that I talked about everybody's a little bit trans and the snowflakes to take that until
Okay, I forgot that I
Bailey,
said raw dogging, so.
our friend who is going to be our artist, who is designing our. Right now, we've got a filler, Chaos, Mischief, and Muscles, the text that is going to go on shirts and stuff, but we actually have an artist who is creating a logo design for us. Her name is Bailey. She is fantastic. I will link in the description her art Instagram because she is a fantastic artist.
She's brilliant.
And she's on our coaching group with Mike Needs a Plan. She's just an awesome
She's one of the
person.
OGs.
She is one of the OGs. I am inspired by this girl, and she will be on a later episode with her twin sister Summer. They, I believe, each have lost over 50 pounds together.
I think Bailey said she hit 65.
Yeah.
So incredible.
What about you, Mischief? What did you think?
I did not watch it on YouTube. I'm not ready for that yet. Because I know I will be picking out stuff. Not on you guys, on myself. I think I texted you guys this. Do I really sound like that? Yeah, getting used to hearing yourself talk is it's gonna take some time, I think. But it's fine. We're gonna keep doing it. I was really proud of hearing what we had to say, and Mandy, like you and Cass, I think you said this too in a text message, like hearing, like picking out different things. I'm like, oh, I forgot that was said. Oh, That's really cool. Oh, I said that? Yeah, I think it was really cool, and I'm excited that we have it recorded to go back and listen to at some point too, just to see if like anything that we say changes.
Ooh.
Um, but also like I was really excited to get it out there, and I had like a friend, um, an old coworker of mine who listened to it, and like my therapist is like a subscriber now. She hasn't listened to it yet, but she subscribes to us, and I'm like, this is just it's so cool. It's so cool. All right, Chaos, you're up.
So yeah, that's the thing I remember most when I was listening to it. I don't have as much of a problem. I mean, a little bit, right? But I think a little bit is normal and natural. But being on Marco Polo in the different groups um, has, I always go back like, wait, did I talk about this? So I go back and I listen to myself. That's kind of desensitized me already. Same with the watching. Though, if I'm honest, most things that I watch, I don't watch because ADHD. I need a magic wand that I can wave when it's ADHD.
We should just like
You
the
do.
imagine the SpongeBob imagination meme. We just pull that up and then just change imagination to ADHD.
Or the more you know,
Yeah.
rainbow with the star, the more you know. Um,
By the way, I don't
uh,
think we said this at the beginning. We're all neurospicy on some level. So,
yeah,
if
or
you haven't listened,
multiple.
just or multiple levels. So if you haven't listened
Yeah.
before, that'll make sense once you listen. If it hasn't made sense already, it will.
But I was really surprised that I was still like pulling things out. I was remembering things that I had wanted to say, or I was remembering things that had happened because it's been what, a month now,
Yep.
or maybe a little more since we originally recorded that. And it was either things I forgot I wanted to say, because that's my life, or things that have happened since then that were also relevant that I wish I had known at the time that I could say,
Right.
right? And then I was just completely amazed at the ability for me to listen something that I participated in the creation of, right? That my words were a full third of the information, right? And I was still getting insights. And yes, I wrote them down and yes, I journaled them, right? And I sent that to you guys and I'm like, I don't understand that. But then I asked Mike and he said he actually gave me a very comprehensive response, which is it's the four voices, right? I'm by listening to something that I've recorded, I am making my mouth talk to my ears and they process things differently. So I can come back and listen to this thing and get something new out of it. And I was like, huh, that actually is a really cool thing. And now I have something else to research in 1 month and 7 days when I have a life again.
I feel like talking about the previous, our first podcast to this one, it's like it falls in line with what we're going to talk about tonight, and
I
that's
was
the
just gonna say
redefining
that. I
success.
was just gonna
Yep.
say. So, how does this define our success? We didn't we didn't go viral yet.
I mean,
Does that mean
I'm okay.
that does that I'm so okay with that. That one thread I had that got like
Quite.
50,000 likes still like haunts me. That a
Do,
Brainy Carlisle one.
do you still get stuff
Sometimes,
from it?
sometimes. No, you know what I get likes on still sometimes? Liam made a post, Plant Slant, on Instagram and TikTok. If you're not following him, you should. Uh, he's the cottage cheese man and the bean man. Um, but he
Please
was
don't put them
reviewing a
together.
rest. unless you're unless it's Siggy's. Um, shit, train of thought. Oh, he had a video like months ago where the person didn't end up using cottage cheese in the recipe, and I commented and I said, Uh, if you're in a pinch and you don't have Greek yogurt, you could always use blended up cottage cheese. That was months ago, and I still get likes on that one.
Oh yeah.
It's up to like almost 12,000, and I'm like, that's stop. But
Internet
yeah,
famous
what?
for
I
your
had
comment. You're
something like
internet
that
famous for
happen
your
to me
comments.
too.
Yeah,
I commented on this guy's video. This was on TikTok, which I'm not on anymore, right? The only social media I have right now is Instagram, and I don't really want any more than that because it just becomes too unwieldy and
fair.
too much input overwhelms me easily, so I gotta focus, right?
Yeah.
So, but when I was on TikTok and watching, and that's all I did really is largely just consumed, right?
Yeah.
There's this guy that talks in a monotone, and he always recorded his videos in his car. And somebody asked why he always recorded his videos in a car. And he talked about it was something like his particular blend of neurodivergence, right? Meant that basically that's where he's comfortable recording, right? And I made a comment. I don't remember what my comment was at this point. I'm talking this is like a year ago, and I would every couple of weeks somebody else would like my comment. I'm like, dudes, really?
So what I'm hearing is going viral doesn't mean you're successful. Or not
Exactly.
everyone wants to go
Mm,
viral. Like just
yeah,
because you're on social media in some aspect and sharing parts of your life doesn't mean you want to go viral. It just means you want to share shit and maybe it'll resonate with people, maybe it won't. But like
Like,
I was talking to Mike the other day. I was like, I don't post on Instagram for anyone else but myself, so I have it to look back on. Some of the things I write, I'm like, these are things that I want to remember and remind myself of at some point, you know? Um, God, I hope I never go viral.
you know, there's something to be said about using it as kind of a journal, and
hmm
it keeps that authenticity.
Yeah.
That I feel a lot of people who have been successful, and I put quotation marks around successful because just because you've gone viral doesn't mean you've achieved something of great. Like in my mind, success is something that you consider hard, something that
hmm
you would be very proud of. Um, People go viral for Tuah girl.
I was
Um,
just gonna say that.
like that.
Or
I don't know if
yeah,
that's something she wanted to be viral for, and if she did, good job. She got
yeah.
viral, and she
She tried to
I,
make a
I
career
haven't.
out of. I just looked her up because I was curious about what happened to her, and I think she tried to
Yeah.
make a career. Like she had a podcast called Talk Tuah,
Wow, that's actually
which is
pretty good.
phenomenal, phenomenal branding. Um, but yeah, and
But
not
like,
everyone knows how to deal with it either, because
true.
it's very. I think going viral is partially luck.
Yeah.
largely luck, I think.
Like like uh Mike with his taking his shirt off at the
Yeah,
beach. Mike needs a plan on TikTok and Instagram. There's a video where Mike goes and he takes his shirt off at the beach, and that went viral. And that
and
is,
it went viral. I think because I mean he didn't just like randomly take his shirt off. It was something that he was very nervous to do and very
yes.
like he hadn't done it in a long time.
And
Um, yeah.
that worked out really well for him, though. So in a
hmm
way, that helped kick his success off because now he has an amazing coaching group, as we've mentioned and we talk about a lot. We're part of that coaching group. That's how we became friends. And um, I even had I just had coffee with one of the other members of the coaching group this morning. Um, with my daughter Kiwi, that's success. Where if you can build a community, I feel that's
hmm
that's success. Um, I will say too that so n- no mystery. We're all working on mindset, weight loss, and things like that. Like we've mentioned that a few
hmm
times. I consider myself successful now that I can get on the scale,
Mhm.
see that literally in a day and a half, I went up 4 pounds.
Damn.
But I'm wearing a medium shirt.
Yeah.
I'm wearing pants that I have to keep hiking
Yeah.
up. I took some pictures today because I'm like, my hair looks fire. And it doesn't now because I took a
Wait,
nap.
I think I misheard you. Did you say you went up or down 4.5 pounds?
I went up.
Oh, I thought you said you went down.
No, I
Sorry.
went up 4 pounds. And
Okay.
I'm wearing a medium shirt right now. And I'm wearing extra large pants. I should be in probably larges, but because they keep sliding down, I keep having to hike them up. But it doesn't, I don't care.
Yeah.
And I say that's success in my
Yeah.
mind because I don't care. I know that what I had yesterday is the reason I gained that much weight. I didn't drink enough water yesterday. I had pizza, which was absolutely delicious. I love this pizza place. And like, I was just curious. I'm doing a challenge for myself where every day I check my weight just for the entire month so that I can see the data. And I knew that there was going to be a day that jumped up a lot because bloating, because water retention, because they're a butterfly flapped its wings in India. Like
Hormone.
hormones. I'm a woman. I don't have a
Little
uterus,
fuckers.
but I still get the hormones because I'm cranky as shit today. Like, and there's no reason for me to be cranky other than my daughter kicked my foot for like 3
Ouch.
times in a row, and I wanted to rip her head off. Like,
Your
I'm cranky.
surgery foot?
I was just gonna say,
It was my
clarify.
surgery foot. It was my
Ow.
surgery foot after
Yeah.
I'd taken my boot off. But and she
Ooh.
got my toe, so it wasn't that bad, but it was like, girl. And so, but I consider that a success, knowing that there are so many reasons that the scale went up. None of them have anything to do with I gained weight
Yeah.
with quotation marks around it. I didn't. Not technically.
If
Like
you
it,
if you gained
now,
four
if
and a
I
half pounds of true weight in a day, we'd have to you'd have to go back to the doctor.
yeah, I
Yeah.
would be concerned. Like
I would
I
be very concerned.
tumor. Like
I'm a
I'm gonna say it.
It's
I'm
tumor.
gonna
not a
say it. I
tumor.
wasn't gonna. I'm probably just full of shit, guys.
So okay, so I love that I started singing a song from Family Guy. Chaos quoted uh Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then you just talked about shit. Oh, we haven't talked about balls yet, so I win.
Oh.
Sorry.
Wait. Oh no, that was before we started recording.
Yeah, that's true. It was
We did
before we
talk about
started
squishy balls
recording.
before we recorded. The
You
squishy
guys
balls.
were showing off your different balls. They are very squishy balls. You
That
guys
one,
have
mine has a hole in it. You need a squishy ball.
Mine's a cat.
it's ridiculous. Um, and I look at you guys, both of you, and what I see you guys being, there are so many ways I see you two being extremely successful, and so many other people's where 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I wouldn't have even noticed. So, like, my view of what is success is completely different than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, the smallest things are success because if you look for it, it makes life happier. It gives you a reason to keep going. Personal opinion.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about you two?
I agree with that. And I think, I mean, it's like the little things that add up to like feeling successful, right? Like maybe it's the scale not going up, or like maybe it is going up, like it happened with you, Mandy, and you're like, hey, but I have all of these reasons. And it's that mindset shift, right? Of like, I'm not going to beat myself up. Because there was a period in my life not that long ago where if that had happened to me, fuck, I would have done one of two things. I would have eaten everything in sight, or I would have eaten next to nothing the next day.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
depending on where my brain was and what kind of a dick it was being that day.
Full disclosure, I had a cheeseburger for dinner. It was delicious and amazing. Just saying.
Oh, I was
Like
at a
I
I was
ate.
at a brunch buffet today, and
Ooh,
it was so good. Um, I had
I'm
eggs.
making a
I
note.
had I had sausage. I had the best shredded hash browns I've ever had in my life. Um, and I had dessert. And I
At
had two
brunch?
little at brunch. There were two little mini. Well, not I had two of them. They were little mini Danishes. So I had a cheese Danish,
Ooh.
and I think it was apple. And full disclosure, I don't like cooked apples, like the texture of it. So just ate the pastry part. Um, once I thought it was lemon. Um, but like again, there was a time not that long ago where I would have felt guilty for eating all of that, and I would have like somehow punished myself. Um, that didn't happen today. I got hungry like an hour ago, like right before therapy. I had therapy right before this, so that was fun. Um, and I was like, I'm just gonna make something small, and it was fine. You know, I think also like part of it was I didn't overeat at brunch either. Like I had a lot, but I had just worked out. I had gone on a run. I hadn't really had breakfast that day or that this morning, um, because I woke up too late. Um, but I still got to the gym. Um, yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But like, food isn't the enemy. That's the main thing. Is like food doesn't isn't the enemy. It doesn't control me anymore. Um, I eat when I'm hungry. If I'm hungry, no matter what I had earlier in the day. You know what I mean? Um, fucking going to the gym. You know, that's success for me. The fact that I have a habit of doing that and that I'm like taking care of myself. And again, it's those little things that just like add up to like I'm a much happier, I wouldn't say well-rounded. What do you have?
Sorry, you were talking about your brunch, and then my brain goes, "Oh wait, I got it's carrot cake bread at the
Oh,
cafe this morning.
okay.
It's just a little coffee shop, and I got it. I took a couple bites. I wasn't that hungry
Yeah.
because the coffee was like it's
Yeah.
I'm a milk with a hint of coffee person. I That's just who I am.
I'm the opposite.
And we're not going
Somewhere
to
in the
discuss
middle.
that. We have all extremes here.
We do. It's a spectrum.
But like you talking about that, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I have my carrot. I'm gonna pull that out. I think I'm gonna have that later.
Yeah, that's it. That reminds me of the other thing. At brunch, I didn't eat all of my food that I got on my plate
Oh yeah.
because I didn't want all of it. I did your thing, Mandy, in class Friday, gave us homework of like putting down the fork. And I've slowed down my eating a lot. But I was like, this is gonna be the perfect opportunity because my eyes were bigger than my stomach today. And I loaded up that fucker so big. But I put my fork down. I conversed with the people I was talking with that I was eating brunch with, and I
For
stopped when
four
I was
hours.
full. For 4 hours. It was great. If you're listening to this at all, I loved seeing you.
No,
I
you should see her face right now, guys. This is big lies. There's
I
no
love you.
smiles there.
I love you all so very much.
But
My
I
brain
had
was
plans.
my, my I was supposed to go play video games. Um
Worth it.
yeah. It was worth it. It was worth it to see them all. Um but I was tapped out afterwards. I needed quiet after that. But I love you all. But yeah, I stopped when I was full, and then I was like, hey, like, because we were there for 4 hours, I was like, I think I can have a little Danish. I think that'll be okay. And I didn't know what one I wanted, so I got two. You know, I don't know that answers the question about success, but um,
I think it does.
7, 8 months
Mhm.
ago,
Yeah.
I would have been completely different. I probably honestly would have gotten like 3 plates of food because my brain would have gone, this was expensive. I need to get my money's worth, which I get, and I'm
Mhm.
not going to hurt myself to do that.
Yeah.
What about you, Chaos?
So this is actually something I have been doing a lot of thinking about since July. Which, if you're tuning in for the first time, I was laid off from my corporate job in July, and I spent a little over 5 months being what I affectionately, and I did mean this affectionately, so don't call me on being not kind to myself, but I affectionately called myself a jobless slob because it was okay. There might have been some meanness in there, but that's what I felt like. I felt lost and I felt without identity and I felt like a failure, right? And so I've kind of been noodling on what Cess is kind of long term. And a little bit of background. Um, when I was in high school, like counselors didn't believe in me. They all said that I was going to end up working at a grocery store for the rest of life, right? Like that was the best I could achieve. And I bought into the bullshit for far too long. And then when I was 23, it wasn't just counselors, it was teachers, it was the principal who wanted us to just all be perfect little Mormon girls. I wasn't
Sorry.
I wasn't Mormon, right? I wanted to take freaking wood shop and
Oh, you
his,
would have been
the
so good at that.
I did it in seventh and eighth grade
Good for you.
before going to high school. Then we transfer cities, right? And I'm like, I want to keep doing this. I was amazing at it. I made a whole ass desk in eighth grade. I was 12 and I made a
Damn.
whole ass desk that my sister kept for a good decade, right? And so, like, we go, and it's me and my mom and the principal, and we're in the office, and I'm like, I really want to do this. And he's like, oh, I don't know about that. Why don't you try home ec instead? Those were the little literal words out of his mouth. And
Little fucker.
yeah, I, of course, was, let's see, this was 93, so I wasn't even 13 yet, right? Because this was August of 93. So I was still 12, right? And so I am a little pushover. I don't have a voice yet, right? I've been abused and I just was very comfortable not making a fuss, right? So my mom wanted to push back on it, and I appreciate that about her now, right? I didn't recognize it then. I was just like, don't embarrass me. This is a new school. These are new kids. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. Mom, shut up. It's fine, right? Which now, hindsight, very glad for. That's what introduced me to sewing, and that's one of my huge hobbies, right? And sewing and crochet and all those things. And it's what taught me how to read a recipe and how to make changes to cooking by going off recipe, right? That all came from that one class. So it was a net good. I just didn't like how it came to it, right? But
Mhm.
so it was a whole thing and it was high school, right? We all know high school. Um, but I graduated essentially with the understanding that nobody believed in me. Nobody thought I was going to do anything with my life. And I believed the bullshit for far too long. And then I discovered accounting and I freaking loved it and I fell in love with it. And I had a teacher who, like, because I was in this vocational training program, and she also loved it and she encouraged me. And I was like, okay, okay, okay. And then, start going to school for it and get pregnant and have a life and babies, and that gets put on hold like it does, right? And I go back at 38. And like, I finally had reached a point. I mean, well before that. I want to say it happened somewhere around 25, 26, right? But then that's when I started having babies and family. Okay. So I was like, all right, screw them. No, I didn't say screw them. I said, fuck them and what they think of me, right? I can do whatever the hell I want, right? And that was the beginning of me like getting my voice and standing up for myself and everything. But at that point, success still meant to me same thing it means to, everybody who reads the textbook definition, right? Success is setting some lofty goal and then achieving it, right? Kiwi intervention.
Success is doing a podcast without Kiwi coming in.
That'll be an amazing day.
Oh,
Please go on.
um, and
we
I
love
still
this.
held a little bit of that kind of textbook definition of success when I started and went back for my degree. Just like, it's like, okay, I'm going to be a badass. And I am a badass, right? And I got my degree. I started back when I was 38. The kids were little. It was an adjustment. I still did it, right? I still got the degree. I still got the corporate job. And I was doing internal audit and I was working on my certification to be a certified internal auditor. And then I lost access to the materials when I got laid off, so that got put on hold. And I started thinking about success, and this is right around the same time that we all got together at um, the coaching group and like the big mind shift that was happening for kind of all of us, right? I think that's one of the things that is why we're so close, is all kind of shifting together, right? And in our own ways, but the same sort of shifts. So for me, it was I do not have to have a corporate job to be a success. I do not need to make a shit ton of money for my family to be a success. As long as I am making enough money to bring in my share of whatever, to feed all my cats and make sure they have their own office chairs to sit in. And
Hoodoo is now
yes.
Brussels.
But as long as I'm making enough money to bring in my share of stuff and I'm having fun and I am continuing to grow and it is less important to me that I have the title. It is less important to have the money, although money's good because it pays for stuff, right? But for me, it's important that I help people and I can help people better by being an on the street tax preparer than I can by working an internal audit job for some corporation or in some big accounting firm, which those are great. Those are good jobs, right? As long as they're being done the right way and everything. There's nothing wrong with those jobs, but I want to have more of a positive influence on the world I live in. And so now for me in my job, success is, did I help someone today? I helped 3 people today on a day I wasn't
Oh,
even supposed to be in, right? I genuinely helped 3 people finish their taxes and get them done, and now they feel calm about it. And one of them, he's like, I can't stress about this. He has some sort of ulcer thing that if it doesn't get treated or he doesn't take care of it, it could turn into cancer, right? And so, like, he's like, I need to do this, but I need to not feel stress. And he's done and he's calm, right? And he was very appreciative. And I love that because I helped a person, right? That's what success in my job is for me now. And success in the weight journey is, I mean, that's been redefined so many times for me. But it's similar. I'm making good choices on food. I am being way more active than I have been. I went skating with Chris on Friday. Chris is my husband, guys. Um, so my husband and I, we went skating at a real, honest to God roller skating rink, and it was amazing. Oh my God, there were like 50 adults there. It was so cool.
Fantastic.
You guys are coming when you come here in May. We're going skating. We're
We're
going
having a full
skating.
date, so
Okay.
that
We have
works.
we're
Cool.
We
gonna
have we've got
But
a
so,
date
like,
night.
we're getting the thruple together.
success is whatever you want it to be. I think it's more personal now
Mhm.
to me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is that, like, just hearing you talk, for me, it seems like the shift came from you deciding what was going to make you happy and what was going to bring you joy and what was going to make you feel like you're living up to your own expectations of yourself and not someone else's definition of like what you should do.
Oh, absolutely. And that is coming for you guys too. I promise.
Oh,
I think
Because
I'm
that
there already.
I'm
because
there.
that came with
Yeah.
my I don't give a fuck attitude that happened right around I turned 40.
Yeah,
And
I turned
so,
40 this year. And I think yeah, I think which is fucking wild to think about. Not because I feel old, but because I don't feel old. You know, like everyone's like, "Oh, 40. Lordy, lordy, look who's 40." I'm like, I'm almost 40 and I'm cool. Like, you know,
my
but
kids think you are cool. I am not cool anymore, but
you
you
know,
guys are.
sweet.
Aw, I'm glad your kids think we're cool. But my kids think you both of you guys are cool. So
Well, I think you're both cool.
I think
The
you're
AJ
cool.
the octopus thinks you
Ah,
guys are cool.
I love your octopus so much.
I do too. But yeah, I think I'm there already. I think it's
Yeah.
like when I do stuff and when I make decisions and when I like just go about my life, I'm not thinking, "Oh, what is everyone going to think of me now?" When I go to the fucking gym, I'm not like everyone's staring at me. There was a point when I started, yeah, I felt that way.
yeah.
Now I don't care. Um, so yeah, I think I'm mostly there's it pops up every once in a while, you know, because old habits die hard and old mindsets die hard, but I think for the most part it's I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want because it's my life and no one else's. And as long as I'm not hurting myself or other people, it shouldn't be anyone else's business.
Yeah, I I'm pretty much there. Like I don't, oh, I fail or I'm a failure. Like that doesn't cross my mind anymore. It's and which is nice. I don't know when that happened. I wish I
I
could
can't
pinpoint
pinpoint
when
it.
and have
Yeah.
like a when did this happen, but it's like the stuff going on with my foot where
Hmm.
I can't go to the gym very easily. Like I need help with the gym. Well, my trainer left.
Yeah.
So it's kind of thrown me off a little bit and I can't start with the new trainer until next week at the earliest. But he can't do the mobility stuff with me right away because of my foot. So it's like, it doesn't make sense to start with him
Hmm.
and so my brain is like, well, you're failing at the gym. I was like, but am I? It's like literally a split second of, oh, and then it's like, oh, wait, no, I'm not. Like, I'm doing just fine. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to
I
the
think
gym.
I think sometimes like that imposter syndrome sets in. Like I had it the other day, right, when I was texting you guys about my run. Like
Yeah.
I had a run that was like not objectively like not my best, but like not every run is going to be my best. But it like set in some imposter syndrome of like should I even be doing this? Should I be, you know, I'm helping one of the other people in the group with like a training schedule for the 10K that we're doing in May when we meet up in Denver. I'm like, should I even be doing that if I can't even do a fucking hill repeats well enough? But then I'm like, I mean, I talked to you guys, I talked to Mike about it, and like, I'm fine now. It's cool. It's cool. I think that also came on the heels of a really shitty day at work. So I was
Yes.
already in a crappy mindset. Um,
Was it literally shitty this time or
Not literally shitty. You know, I was just called a stupid bitch by a 5-year-old. Like, I lost count of how many times.
Yeah.
And
No,
spat
no,
on and
no.
hit and And I love my job. I do. That's not me being like facetious. I do really love my job. Which I think is another success, is finding a career that you enjoy. Cass, you were talking about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was in a job that I objectively hated. And it was a very similar job to what I was doing, to what
Yes.
I'm doing now. But it just was not the right environment. Um, and so success also is recognizing that and not being like, oh, I need to stay here because I need to appease my boss and the kids and the parents. And that, yeah, it was hard to leave all of them, but also, I don't want to be miserable.
Yeah.
You deserve to feel okay in your job. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and more than just okay. Like,
Right.
I say okay, but like,
That's the bare minimum. Like, your bad days, you should feel okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's like, everybody knows I don't have a traditional job. I am a mom, working on becoming a coach,
I was
working
just saying,
on,
and a coach in
no,
training.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I just don't want you to forget.
I'm not gonna forget. I have it in my damn notes here,
Good.
which it's almost full cast.
Oh
I'm showing off
no.
my journal right now. It is. I was just trying to see, do I have enough to add another month, or do I have to get a new journal? I'm gonna have to get a new journal.
I
I got those
can't
at
find
Ross.
my normal journal. My Galaxy one. I don't know what happened to it. It's
That's
okay.
okay.
I have backups. I don't know. I put it somewhere and I don't know where. ADHD brain.
I
It
just
will
found
show up.
mine again.
It's okay. I have.
When I did my spread the other day, it had been lost for about a week.
Oh, I like that one. That's very pretty. I, but it's like, I used to think that because I didn't have a job, because I was raised around college students, my preteen through teen years. I lived on a college campus in Boulder. Like, I lived at CU Boulder Family Housing, and I would go with my dad up to campus, and I would see all these, like, there was an expectation that I was going to go to college and get a 4-year degree. That never happened. I'm not, my brain isn't built for going to school. I wish that it was. I know objectively I'm a very smart person, but if I'm sitting in a classroom and a teacher gives me an assignment and my brain is like, this is fucking stupid. This is literally just busy work
So,
because
so,
you need to come
so
up with a
valid.
reason for grades. I can't do it. There is no way I can talk myself into doing it. At least at the time when I tried school. Cass is over here like dying because she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Ask me how many times I had to take English 102.
Oh my God.
Okay. Can we talk about how forcing me to read books was like the purest form of punishment? And I love to read.
Oh
But
yeah.
Yeah.
when you're telling me I have to read 50 pages of a book, even if I
Hmm.
want to read it, I'm not going to fucking read it. Brave New World in
Yeah.
high school, we had to read Brave New World and fill out a study guide. I found every single answer to that fucking study guide in Spark Notes,
Yep.
or I was able to like piece together what was happening enough in the book to like find the answer. And it was an open
Yeah.
notes test, and my teacher was like, "You're never gonna find the answers by using Spark Notes. Where there's a will, there's a way."
Yep.
That's exactly how I passed my lit 102 class. I didn't read any of the books. And these are books that I would have read, but you
Yeah,
tell me to read
exactly.
them, I'm not going to read them. And that, so not getting any kind of actual degree for a long time, my brain is like, I'm a failure.
Mm-hmm.
And it really affected me. And it doesn't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't view that as, that piece of paper does not define my success. What defines my
Yeah.
success is that little teeny tiny human pop in her head being like, can I go potty? It's like, dude, you don't have to ask, but okay, you're potty trained. That's a success. At least she's going
That's a
potty and I don't
huge
have to deal with
success.
diapers no more because they're expensive, guys.
They are.
And then
Yeah.
my 11-year-old coming in here and saying hi before the podcast, and we're standing next to each other, and it's like realizing this kid is going to outgrow me by the end of summer. He's going to be taller than me at this rate.
By the end of spring, probably.
Do not torture me like that. We are not cursing me that way. But the thing is, it's like, my kids are happy, healthy, and they want to come see me. They want to come spend time with me. That is a success because I was a bedroom child. For those of you who don't know what that is, a bedroom child is a child who doesn't want to be around the rest of the family. For one reason or another, they have to, they feel comfortable in a confined space that is theirs. I am now a bedroom mom or an office mom where this is my space. Nobody else gets to, like, the kids don't generally hang out in here, but they do because that's where mom is. I usually have the door open, and that's where dad is. And so the kids just bounce back and forth. That's a success to me. And so my view on success, I don't know when that shifted, where I don't give a shit if I don't have a degree. And I used to so much. Like that defined who I was. I felt like I failed so hard because I didn't have that. I thought I was going to end up dead in a ditch by the time I was 14. I was on track by the time I was 18, actually, to be dead in a ditch. But life happened. Things changed. I got out of the drugs. I got out of the bad crowd. And I moved out literally 5 days after I turned 18. Like, I was gone. And I went and got married. Didn't tell anybody for 3 days. Like, my dad still doesn't let me live that one down, by the way. And it's been 20 years, 22 years. But, who's counting?
Why would we let that go?
Yeah, no,
Why?
no. No, and then, it's not like dad's dream about walking their daughters down the aisle, but, we didn't have a good relationship then. But the fact that we do now a much better relationship is a success in my mind.
Mhm.
So it's like how you view success in my mind, it's going to vary by person and it's going to vary by situation and environment. And like, I am a successful cat owner because I have clingy cats. Like I'm a successful weight loss coach
Hell yeah, you are.
because I have taught a class and people have quoted my class. I'm a successful podcast host because I've had people reach out to me and say, "Oh my God, your podcast got me thinking," and I didn't even know. I didn't realize I need to think about that. And it's like we've only had one episode, but that's a success.
That's a
We
success.
had people listen, even just one person
That's a
listening.
success.
We've
Yeah,
had we've had one comment on our Spotify
I saw that
podcast.
today.
Oh, I didn't.
Nicola
Yeah,
is
Nicola.
Nicola's a friend of mine from the Guild of Champions. She lives
Oh,
over in
yeah,
New
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Zealand.
yeah.
She is a phenomenal mom and a phenomenal teacher, and she works with special needs kids. She runs her own classroom and everything. She's a fantastic woman. I absolutely adore her. So her talking about like and making a comment, I'm like, I've made it. Just because one of my closest friends who hopefully I really hope to meet her one day in person, listen to our podcast.
Mhm.
The fact that we're still recording this,
Yeah.
like a month
It wasn't
later,
just an ADHD random project that
it
we left
wasn't
to the
we're
side.
gonna do this.
Even
That's my
after
indoor
having to
garden.
cancel the last time we scheduled to
Yeah,
record, we
Yeah, I
came
mean,
back.
life happens.
life happens. And you
Life happens,
reset.
shit happens. And
Yeah.
it makes life better when you view success in the moments rather than the big picture.
Mhm. I mean, it's like weight loss, right? Like every
Yeah.
ounce, every pound that you lose adds up to a bigger amount. And it's
Hmm.
kind of like success. Like those little, I
Yeah.
mean, those little moments might not seem like it in the moment, but like looking back, I'm like, oh yeah. Even the hard moments where like, that run that I had the other day, like shifting the mindset and overcoming that, I'm like, I could have viewed that as a failure.
Hmm.
6 months ago, I would have. 6 months ago, I probably would have stopped running.
I mean, and Cass, like your view of success, the way you are just you seem so much happier
Yeah.
since you started working this new job and
Hmm.
help be like you you do the not naming names, which is ethical moral goodness over here, but when you talk about how like I got to help somebody in your face and your expression and your tone and like it's just like it exudes accomplishment
And pride.
and pride and it's
Yeah.
like you are proud of the work that you're doing and the
I
like
sometimes will get down on myself because it all comes so easy to me, right?
Hmm.
And like objectively, it could be viewed as a lesser form of what I'm doing because I'm not working with a firm or I don't have my CPA or whatever. And so sometimes that'll get stuck in my mind, and then I have to realize that it really doesn't fucking matter what it like I'm not defining it by what other people think,
Hmm.
right? And that's me getting stuck back in that cycle of thinking like other people think.
Hmm.
Um, I need to define it, and I am defining it by what makes me happy. And like
Hmm.
I don't even know the last time I had a day off. Like at this point, I have what? 1 month and 1 week.
welcome to the busy season.
Yep.
Welcome to
Um,
the busy season.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm tired, but I'm
Yeah.
not burnt out, right?
Hmm.
This still is giving me something to drive with.
Yeah. Which I think is huge because I think a lot of times, at least what I've noticed from some people in my life, is that the idea of like working so much to the point that you're burning yourself out and you're not having time for yourself. Like, oh my gosh, I worked 70 hours this week. Yeah, your paycheck's gonna reflect that, but like at what cost?
Yeah.
Like people like I there are people that I know who will work themselves to the point of burnout, but like view it as successful because their paycheck reflects that. Or because they have some sort of pride in not being able to say no and being the like reliable one at work. And it's like that you're not gonna get very far if you're not taking time for yourself either.
Yeah. But however much we can see that from the outside, because I have some of those
Hmm.
that I know as well, right?
Yeah.
And we can know this and see
Hmm.
this, right? We can see it for others on the outside, but it doesn't work until they come to the realization themselves. And
Exactly.
that's the crappy part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it's
Yeah.
someone you care about, you want them to do better for themselves,
100%.
but they just got to
100%.
get there on their own.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Is that the saying?
It is.
Yep.
Okay. For some reason, I was mixing something else up in my brain.
So in closing, I I think we can all agree that taking a step back to evaluate what success means to you on an individual level is more important
Hmm.
than it is what does success mean to my partner, to my friends, to my parents. Like, how does it look for me? Because I feel like if
What
you
is it that you want out of it?
exactly
Hmm.
it if you're feeling successful, you're gonna be happier. Can we all agree this?
Oh,
Like,
Yes.
amen.
like does that make sense to everybody?
I think this is
I
totally
did not
sense.
make an inappropriate comment tonight. Sorry, that's a success. I didn't make an
That's a
inappropriate
success.
comment.
Is it though?
Is
I
it?
don't
Is
think it
it?
is.
I mean,
I dropped at least two F-bombs.
I swore.
So,
I talked about balls.
You always talk about balls, so you need to, because you're Tracy Balls.
Tracy
That's why you're
balls.
mischief. You're gonna be over there and you're gonna be like stacking these little things. It's like, ha, stack the balls.
I should get a ball stack.
It's gonna be a thing. I really, real quick, I would love to say thank you again to everybody who listened to our first podcast. And by the time we post this, our second and third podcast, this is now our fourth podcast episode.
Woo!
And
We
we're
very
open
much
to,
appreciate it.
yeah, we're open to feedback. Just don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, don't be a dick. If you feel like you've got to be a dick,
I'm gonna
you
cut yours off.
probably should measure yourself and check yourself. So, because it's probably really tiny.
We've got muscles over here.
I'm just saying. If you're being a dick, you probably got a small one. That's my theory at this point. You either want one or you don't have one. So, but please, we are on YouTube. So like, subscribe, and follow on there. We are on Spotify at this point. I'm working very hard dealing with Apple Podcasts, trying to get us up on there. I don't do Apple products very well, so
I will try and figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna
I got you.
we're gonna get Mischief over here on that one, and then
Yeah, I'm not an Apple girly either.
I'm working on getting a TikTok up and a Instagram. So once those are up, I will toss those up. But our own individual Instagrams are in the
And
bios.
Facebook.
And I said Facebook.
Oh, sorry.
I said we have a Facebook page.
I think I was thinking about Apple Podcasts and what I needed to do.
Success. We confused a Tracy.
It's not hard to do.
New achievement. But I really appreciate everybody who's listening. I appreciate doing podcasts with you guys. This is honestly the best part of my week, when we just get to goof off for a bit and talk about balls and lack of dicks and
serious stuff too.
And serious stuff too.
It's a spectrum.
We will see you next time on our next episode. As I said, we're going to be having some fun guests in the near future. I'm really looking forward to getting those all scheduled up. And we are going to have a Mike from Mike Needs a Plan will be on our podcast. Hopefully this week. If not this week, or our next podcast, the podcast after that. He's going to come on and give us a little bit of talk about what he does and how he has shifted his mindset, over the last few years, especially in the last year and a half, like how his life has changed. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Me too. I didn't even know about it until today.
Sorry, guys. I didn't know about it. I scheduled mine. I haven't even scheduled
a little
him,
out of touch, but
I haven't even scheduled him. So he's just coming on. He doesn't even know yet.
Mike, surprise!
That's why it's either next week or the week after. But Mike will be on.
That's probably the best way to do it, is just to ambush him.
I know. At
this point, I'm wearing my pickle shirt.
Should I buy a pickle shirt just for this?
And then I will buy it from you.
I'll just give it to you. We're the same size. I'll just give it to you.
My emotional support pickle.
Yes.
Okay.
Tracy,
maybe I'll find a pickle tapestry.
Mandy, what'd you say?
I said, Cass, she needs to get a pickle shirt.
Yeah, you do need.
We all just need to show up with pickle merch.
He's gonna hate us.
He's gonna hate us.
I think I have one. And now you're gonna have to cut this part out because it will give it away.
Oh no, because we're gonna record it before he can listen to it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
On that note, everybody have a wonderful, good evening, good day, good morning, good night, however the saying goes. Have a fantastic day and week, and we will see you next time.
I don't remember. Bye.
Bye. Bye.